This video will demonstrate how to make cordage out of stinging nettle. First, I will go over how to collect and process stinging nettle, and then I will show how to use the reverse wrap to twist the fibers into a piece of cordage. So stinging nettle is a plant that is edible, medicinal, and utilitarian. The plant gets its name from the hairs on its stalk that can cause a sting when touched. Though initially irritating to touch, it is believed that these hairs can actually be used in a topical way as a medicinal agent to help ultimately decrease inflammation in an area. In fact, stinging nettle has been used topically for hundreds of years to help treat aching muscles and joints, arthritis, eczema, and gout, among others. The fiber of stinging nettle can be used for clothing fabric, sailcloth, fishing nets, and even paper. And the young, tender leaves of the plant are edible. They can be sauteed much like spinach and eaten as a green or added to soups. These leaves can also make a nutritious tea. Once you have collected your nettle, it is time to process the nettle to remove the leaves and branches from the main stalk. So, the next step towards making our cordage, now that we have our nettles cut, is we have to process these stalks. Now, I'm using gloves. I have been told you can use your bare hands as long as you grip hard enough and push forward. But I am not doing that. So essentially, we want to get the hairs off and the leaves. So you're just going to grip from the bottom and slide your hands up to get the hairs and the leaves off. I can show you. And I'm going to do that one more time for good measure. Okay, so all of my nettles are processed and I'm ready to do the next step, which is essentially I'm going to lightly, see these nodes here, which can be a little difficult to break up. So I'll show you a little trick that will help with that. You can use any tool you find suitable to break up the stalks. Here I am using an old bow drill spindle and I am gently rolling the spindle over the stalk. You do not want to use too much pressure. You want just enough pressure to break up the stalks and particularly the tougher nodes. When finished breaking up the nodes, working up from the bottom, begin to break the nettle stalks apart. You should be able to take all four sides and lay them flat. You will notice that there is an inner pith on one side and an outer side with fibers. These outer fibers are what we will eventually use to make our cordage. So the next step is to remove the fibers from this inner pith. Start with the pith side facing upwards. Place your pointer finger and your thumb under the stalk on the fiber side, and your remaining 3 fingers on the pith side. Use your pointer finger as a wedge between the fibers and the pith, while at the same time holding the fiber with your pointer finger and your thumb. Use your other hand to pull the fibers. This should allow you to take the fibers and in one smooth motion, remove them from the pith. Once you get a feel for this technique, it should go smoothly. The goal is to try to get a nice long strand of fiber. The next step is to dry your fibers. This is to ensure that when you make your cordage, it will remain nice and tight rather than loosening as the fibers dry. The next step in the process is to actually take our dried fibers and turn it into cordage. Here we have our nettle fibers. And you can start your cordage one of 2 ways. You can make a loop, okay, and then pinch the top of that. You can take your fibers and twist in opposite directions, like so, until it kind of kinks up and makes its own loop. Okay, and then you can again just hold that. All right, so either way is fine. The general idea for making your cordage is to twist away from you and then bring the strand towards you. So I think of it like this: opposite strand away and then towards. Opposite strand, twist away, bring it towards me. At the same time, the strand that's closest to you now becomes the one that's away from you. So opposite strand away and bring it towards. So away, towards, and pinch. Away, towards, and pinch. Away, towards, and pinch. Away, towards you, and pinch. Away, towards, and pinch. Away, towards, and pinch. So after a while, it's just sort of like you're just kind of going with it. You know, you're just sort of doing it, and your fingers get that muscle memory, and you just don't even think about it anymore. And there you go. You have a nice piece of cordage. You can make yourself a fancy bracelet, like my new bracelet. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you're able to go out there and find a couple plants where you can make some cordage and try this out.